Imagine a boundary that doesn't just keep the world out, but invites a world of magic in. Close your eyes and picture your garden wrapped in the warmth of weathered wood, where the sunlight dances through colored glass, and every breeze whispers through a wall of living green. Imagine standing in your small backyard, feeling like you've stepped into a hidden forest sanctuary, a place you built with your own two hands, using nothing but nature's forgotten treasures. This isn't just a fence, it's the frame to your soul's retreat. Welcome back to Home and Garden Borneo, your home for turning the simple and upcycled into timeless garden art. I am so grateful to have you here in our growing community of dreamers and makers. If these curated ideas spark a light in your heart, please hit that subscribe button. We are launching this inspiration series every single week to help you transform your space on a budget. Before we dive into today's magic, I'd love to know, which corner of the world are you watching from today? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to say hello. One, the whispering driftwood wall. Imagine a wall that doesn't just stand still, but tells the ancient story of the sea and the forest. Picture a screen crafted from driftwood, wood that has been sculpted by the tides, bleached by the sun, and finally brought to rest in the sanctuary of your garden. Each piece is a unique silhouette, a silver-gray memory of a tree that once stood tall, now rearranged by your hands to create a boundary of soft, weathered whispers. As the evening light begins to fade, imagine small, warm embers of light tucked into the crevices, glowing like fireflies caught in a wooden net. This is more than a simple barrier. It is a testament to the beauty of the journey. In the irregular heights and the rough, salty textures, we find a reflection of our own lives, imperfect, resilient, and deeply connected to the elements. There is a profound peace in knowing that these forgotten fragments of nature can provide us with privacy and grace. It reminds us that even after the storm, there is a way to stand together, creating a space where the soul can breathe and the heart can find its quiet rhythm. As the shadows lengthen against the textured grain, we realize that the most beautiful things are often those that have been reshaped by time. Let the light guide your gaze as we move toward a different kind of glow, where glass and wood combine to capture the very essence of the sun. Two, the stained glass bottle portal. Imagine a barrier that doesn't just block the light, but celebrates it, transforming every golden hour into a symphony of color. Picture a sturdy wooden fence, weathered and wise, holding within it a secret portal of stained glass. These are not expensive jewels, but simple glass bottles, once discarded, now reborn as vessels of light. As the sun moves across the sky, imagine rubies of amber, sapphires of blue, and emeralds of green dancing across your garden floor, painting the grass with the vibrant hues of a forgotten cathedral. There is a gentle philosophy in this mosaic, a reminder that beauty is often found in what we choose to save. It tells us that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary when we give them a place to shine. This wall connects us to the memories of the past while casting a hopeful glow onto the present. It creates a space where the heavy world outside feels a little lighter, filtered through the kaleidoscope of our own creativity. In this quiet corner, light and shadow play together, reminding us that we are the architects of our own wonder. As the colors fade into the soft green of twilight, we turn our eyes toward a wall that breathes, a living tapestry that knits the earth to the sky. Three, the living moss lace fence. Imagine a fence that doesn't just stand in the garden, but breathes with it. Picture a delicate lace of wire, woven with the velvet touch of living moss, a soft, emerald tapestry that feels like a piece of the ancient forest has come to guard your home. This is a wall that drinks the rain and exhales the morning mist, a living boundary that changes with the seasons, deepening its hue as the cool air settles. As you run your fingers along its cool, damp surface, imagine the tiny worlds thriving within its fibers, a sanctuary for life that grows in the quietest of spaces. There is a profound humility in a wall made of moss. It teaches us the power of gentleness and the strength found in staying rooted. In a world of hard edges and cold stone, this living lace offers a soft embrace, absorbing the noise of the outside world and replacing it with the hush of nature. It is a reminder that we are not separate from the earth, but part of its intricate design. This wall doesn't just mark a limit. It cultivates life, inviting us to slow down and listen to the silent growth of the garden. As the scent of damp earth fills the air, we move from the softness of the moss to the solid, enduring strength of the river's own bones. Four, the Riverstone Gabion art. Imagine a boundary built from the very bones of the earth, where the restless energy of a river is brought to a standstill in your own backyard. Picture a wall of stones, each one smoothed by 1,000 years of rushing water, gathered and held together in a delicate cage of wire. These are the keepers of weight and time, a mosaic of grays, ambers, and whites that ground your garden in the enduring strength of the mountain. As the rain falls, imagine these stones darkening and glistening, revealing hidden patterns and ancient stories etched by the current. There is a grounding wisdom in the presence of stone. It reminds us that stability is not just about being heavy, but about how many small pieces come together to create a solid whole. This wall doesn't just define a space, it anchors it, providing a steady contrast to the fleeting, fluttering life of the flowers around it. It is a dialogue between the temporary and the eternal, a reminder that while the seasons change, the earth beneath our feet remains. In the silence of these river stones, we find a sense of permanence, a quiet, heavy peace that holds the world in place. As we move from the weight of the riverbed to the airy grace of the forest canopy, we discover a boundary that floats on the breath of the wind. Five, the floating branch trellis. Imagine a boundary that doesn't divide, but weaves your garden into the very sky itself. Picture slender, weathered branches, fallen gifts from the trees above, now suspended in the air like a wooden loom. Held together by simple strands of natural jute, they float gracefully, creating a trellis that feels as light as a summer breeze. Imagine the delicate tendrils of climbing flowers reaching upward, wrapping themselves around these floating limbs, slowly turning a simple screen into a living curtain of blossoms and scent. There is a beautiful vulnerability in a wall that lets the light and air pass through. It reminds us that protection doesn't always mean building thick, heavy walls. Sometimes, the most enchanting boundaries are those that remain open to the world. It is a celebration of the ephemeral, of the way a branch curves and the way a vine chooses its path. In this floating structure, we find a sense of freedom and movement, a reminder that our gardens, like our lives, are always in a state of becoming. It is a sanctuary that feels as much like a dream as it does a home. As we look upon these floating lines, we begin to see how every fragment of nature, from the heaviest stone to the lightest branch, can come together to frame the magic of our own making. Six, the Zigzag Bamboo Weave. Imagine a fence that carries the rhythm of a distant song, a boundary that moves in a graceful dance across the edge of your sanctuary. Picture the humble bamboo, strong, flexible, and hollow, woven into a striking zigzag pattern that catches the eye and directs the spirit. Each stalk is a testament to resilience, standing side by side in a rhythmic pulse that feels both ancient and modern. Imagine the hollow sound of the wind as it brushes against these golden pipes, whispering secrets of the earth as they bend but never break. There is a deep harmony in the geometry of bamboo. It speaks to the balance we all seek, the ability to be firm in our boundaries yet flexible enough to sway with the changing seasons of life. This woven wall creates a playful interplay of light and shadow, a textured screen that protects your peace while remaining light enough to let the garden breathe. It is a reminder that beauty often lies in simple repetition, in the way a single material can be transformed into a work of art through the patience of our own hands. As the sun sets, casting long, geometric shadows over the path, we transition from the golden nodes of bamboo to a wall of earth and clay, where the roots of our memories are held deep within the soil. Seven, the vertical terracotta vessel wall. Imagine a wall that is not just a barrier, but a collection of cradles, each holding a fragment of life within its warm, clay embrace. Picture the humble terracotta vessel, born of earth and fire, stacked and woven into a vertical tapestry of burnt orange and sun-kissed sienna. These vessels are the silent witnesses of seasons past, their porous skin breathing with the soil, turning a simple boundary into a living, cascading waterfall of green and silver. Imagine the soft overflow of succulents and herbs, spilling from one jar to another like a slow-motion river of life. There is a timeless comfort in the scent of wet clay and the sight of aged terracotta. It connects us to the ancient tradition of the hearth and the home, reminding us that we are gardeners of our own history. This wall doesn't just enclose a space, it nurtures it, providing a home for the smallest of plants while offering a warm, rhythmic texture to the eye. In the repetition of these earth-born shapes, we find a sense of order and abundance, a reminder that when we provide a vessel for growth, nature will always find a way to fill it with beauty. As the sun warms the clay, releasing the sweet perfume of the earth, we transition from the weight of the hearth to the clarity of reflection, where glass and mirror transform the very dimensions of our sanctuary. Eight, the Enchanted Mirror Window Fence. Imagine a boundary that doesn't end your garden, but begins a new one. A wall that holds the sky and double the life of every flower you plant. Picture a weathered wooden fence, etched with the stories of rain and sun, holding vintage window frames that act as portals to a secret, parallel world. These are not just mirrors. They are keepers of light, capturing the dance of the clouds and the vibrant bloom of your roses, reflecting them back to you until your small sanctuary feels like an endless forest of dreams. There is a profound magic in the way reflection can heal a cramped space. It teaches us that our perception can be as wide as the horizon if we only know how to catch the light. This enchanted wall invites the garden to look at itself, creating a dialogue between what is real and what is reflected. It brings the distant sky down to the earth and makes the shadows feel a little less heavy. In this quiet corner, you realize that beauty, when shared with its own reflection, becomes a limitless gift, a reminder that there is always more room for wonder than we first imagined. As the sun dips low and the mirrors catch the first blush of twilight, we leave the world of illusions and move toward a wall that stands with the raw, unpolished grace of the mountain. Nine, the Charred Wood and Shadow Lattice. Imagine a boundary that has been forged in fire to protect the life within. Picture reclaimed wood, once forgotten and discarded, now transformed through the ancient dance of flame into a screen of deep, obsidian beauty. This is the art of the charred plank, where the fire doesn't destroy, but reveals the hidden strength and the intricate, silvered grain of the wood's soul. Arranged in a rhythmic lattice of light and shadow, these dark embers stand as a bold guardian of your peace, casting long, dramatic stripes across the grass as the sun journeys through the day. There is a quiet power in the contrast of the charred and the living. It reminds us that beauty often emerges from the most intense trials, and that what has been burned can become more resilient than ever before. This wall doesn't just enclose your sanctuary. It highlights the vibrant green of every leaf and the delicate hue of every petal against its dark, velvety surface. In the silence of this blackened wood, we find a sense of sophisticated calm, a reminder that the most humble materials, when touched by fire and imagination, can become the most elegant frame for our lives. As the deep shadows of the lattice blend into the night, we look toward a final boundary of stone and rope, where the rugged spirit of the mountain meets the gentle pull of the tide. The Ancient Branch and Rope Gateway. Imagine a boundary that feels as though it grew from the very heart of the earth. A gateway that doesn't just divide a space, but tells the story of the forest. Picture ancient, gnarled branches, their curves shaped by years of reaching for the sun, now standing as silent sentinels at the edge of your sanctuary. Connected by thick, heavy strands of natural rope that drape in graceful arcs, this wall feels less like a structure and more like an invitation. A soft, organic threshold that separates the busy world outside from the whispered peace within. There is a timeless wisdom in these curved lines. They remind us that the shortest path between 2 points isn't always a straight line, but often a journey filled with grace and character. This wall of branch and rope doesn't demand your attention. It earns it through its raw, unpolished honesty. It is a reminder that we don't need to refine nature to make it beautiful. We only need to give it a place to belong. In the shadow of these wooden giants, we find a sense of belonging, a feeling that we are part of a much older story, one where the earth and the human hand work together to create a home for the soul. As the wind gently sways the draped ropes, we realize that every boundary we build is simply a frame for the beauty we choose to nurture. (11) The vintage window pane divider. Imagine a boundary that doesn't just close off a space, but offers a view into the memories of a home. Picture a row of vintage window panes, once the eyes of a house, now standing together as a transparent tapestry in your garden. These frames, with their layers of weathered paint and antique glass, act as a gentle filter for the world outside. They catch the golden morning light and frame your blooming roses as if they were living paintings, creating a sense of history that feels both grounded and light. There is a quiet dignity in giving new purpose to these old frames. They remind us that our stories are built in layers, and that even when something is no longer needed in its original form, it can still find a beautiful place in the garden of our present. This wall of windows invites the wind to pass through the gaps while providing a structure for the ivy to climb, bridging the gap between the man-made and the wild. In the reflection of these old panes, we see a garden that is twice as deep, a sanctuary where the past and the future meet in a soft, sun-drenched glow. As we look through these glass portals, we transition from the clarity of the window to the raw, rugged texture of a boundary built from the very heart of the earth's stones. (12) The vertical Scrapwood Skyline. Imagine a boundary that echoes the playful rhythm of a mountain range or the rising skyline of a dream. Picture a wall built not from uniform, cold materials, but from a collection of wooden fragments, each plank a survivor of a different project, a different time. By standing these mismatched pieces side by side, reaching toward the sky at different heights, you create a living silhouette that feels both intentional and wild. It is a celebration of diversity, where the short and the tall, the rough and the smooth, find their place together in a perfect, jagged harmony. There is a profound freedom in embracing the irregular. This skyline wall teaches us that we don't need to be perfectly aligned to be beautiful, and that our imperfections are exactly what give us character. As the sun dips behind the fence, casting a long, dancing shadow of peaks and valleys across your lawn. You realize that this wall does more than just mark a limit. It provides a textured canvas for the wind to play with and for the climbing vines to explore. It is a reminder that in the garden of our lives, there is room for every piece of our story, no matter how weathered or worn. As the light catches the silvered grain of the oldest planks, we transition from the sturdy embrace of the wood to a boundary that hums with the soft, weaving spirit of the meadow. A garden is a story that never truly ends. It just grows into a new chapter. I hope these ideas have shown you that beauty doesn't require a huge budget, only a bit of imagination and a love for the earth. Thank you for spending your precious time with me today. Remember, your hands have the power to create the peace you seek. Until next week, keep dreaming, keep building, and keep growing. See you in the next sanctuary.